Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show, out in the country working on a ranch project that's going to take 2, 3, 4 years, quite a while. Big projects, a lot of fun. Come join me. Okay guys, so on a big job like this, we like to set up a job trailer. We're gonna be here for a few years, and so we want samples, we want our war board, we want all that kind of good stuff. Let me show you how we set up and organize our job trailer. So you know about my war board if you watched my other video. We try to lay out the entire job. We've got two projects here. We've got a barn that we're building, and then we've got the main house. And so this is really just for the barn. It lays out by month kind of in general what's going on, and then the 2-month lookout, and then just general notes. But you're gonna see a number of whiteboards and things around here as we work through and try to figure things out. The other great thing about just this job trailer is we can begin to collect samples of things that we know we're going to use. And so these are the barn boards that are going to go inside. We've got different colors and different shades of that thing. We've got pictures of construction details we've worked through. We've got samples of our brick for the fireplace. We've got samples of our roofing, which is called Wallaba, which I'll show you in a second. But this is a war department or something. It's where we work through all the details, where we meet with subs. We have client meetings here every other week. The plans are here. This is a place where subs can come in here, work through details, figure things out. But you've got to have this, or we feel like you've got to have this, because this is a nerve center that really helps plan for the coming weeks and months ahead. The other thing that's really important for us to do is do a sample wall, okay? And so this is a way for us to communicate to the client through the subs what their work's gonna look like. And we've spent, a number of days now working on the stone. If you look around the corner, we had another sample wall where our mortar color was too gray, where we didn't have the right size of stone, and we were trying to work through that. We want to make sure that the window detail, the way it goes in there, the way the siding meets is all very important. We're actually going to introduce some cut stone sills. We're working on the coining so that the corner of this building looks right. All this siding is going to get painted, and we've worked through that. You'll notice at the top, we've got open timbers, and then we've got a closed eave. So these are all things that we're using to say, this is the way it should look, as opposed to looking at a set of plans and going, oh yeah, do you like that or like that? They can't imagine it. So building up these walls and sample boards like this are really important. Look at that roof, guys. That's called a Wallaba roof, okay? That is a fire-rated wood shingle, okay? It comes from Australia. We've just got all our pallets and stuff over there, but we wanted to show that to the client because that's going to be really one of those character pieces that's going to make a big difference. It looks a little bit red right now. It silvers out into a beautiful color. This is a very important piece, allows us to communicate and share with the client how things are going to look. Now, let me show you this barn. So part of this story that we're creating out here is that there was originally a log cabin that was the first structure. Now you have those log cabins from 1850 to really late in rural areas. And so having a log cabin is kind of important. It's an appropriate story for us to have out here. We've got a timber company that took historic timbers, and then they cut this dovetail joint in there, right? So that the corners are locked together. So all of these timbers are, locked together with these timber joints, and then there's this gap in between. Now this gap is going to varies, and the traditional way of building it was with what's called chinking. Chinking has been done with a number of different things. It's been done with mortar, done with plaster. Sometimes in the historic buildings, we've actually seen this filled up with wood and then chinked over top. But look at our chinking sample here. They did a number of different samples for us. We're working with Sashco, and they're helping us. This is their chinking material. Yesterday, you can see our fingerprints in here. It's still pretty soft, but this was showing some different colors and showing some different ways of how this looks. And so we really like this color here. We want to see this, the silver brown color kind of come through. So we're actually going to seal this wood. We're not going to stain it too much, and then we will go back in with the chinking. We have a special sub that comes out, works with us with Sashco. but we'll put all the chinking in here, and then these are called bucks. And let me show you upstairs what those look like, because they've used some old growth wood to really capture the story here. It's really going to look great. What we're looking at is these, what's called a buck, okay? And our window frame is actually going to sit inside here. You notice they pitched the outside sill of this thing, and if you look at the tight grain of this wood, this is old growth fir and cedar that is working together for our buck. You notice that we've got rebar separators. They've got these as the separators that kind of hold everything stable. This is how it's kind of post-construction. You see these walls that have gone up and kind of holding it together. Our barn, which is going to get assembled in a couple weeks, is going to go on that side. So first building, then the barn was put up on that side, and it'll go and raise up quite a bit. So really cool elements. Look at these windows out here. Look how beautiful this is. It's going to be pretty spectacular. So one of the fun things about this was that this barn is kind of set into the hill, and sometimes you'll see with barns that there'll be multiple levels and multiple entrances. So we've got a lower tier down here that actually flows down to the lake, which will be pretty spectacular. But we've got now a lower terrace, be a game room, and that kind of area inside. We've got our 100-year windows and doors that are going to go in this house. So they're going to go upstairs, they're going to go downstairs here. This will be opening and flowing out to this lower level where there'll be a pool down here, sport court, and then this wonderful lake, which will be a swimming hole, really, and a fishing lake. Should be a lot of fun. This is where all the mechanicals will be. We've got a giant 2,500-gallon tank that's going to go right there on the ground. It will be a reservoir tank. We're going to have water cleaners and softeners along that wall. We have a whole bank of electrical panels and things. We have HVAC and ducting. This will be a mechanical space. You'll come through that door. We'll epoxy these floors, and this will be a very clean construction zone where all the stuff will be. We're not hiding an electrical panel anywhere else in the house. Everything will be here. And we're trying to, when we're building new houses, incorporate this kind of room into it so that the house is organized and put together and built in a way that it's easy to maintain. So this is the waterproofed wall, right? If you've seen earlier pictures that were on Instagram, there was a 10-foot wide moat that basically went around this thing. We have then backfilled it, okay? So we waterproofed our walls. We've got our dimple mat, which will go on top. We've got our rock. You can see the fabric, and then our pipe under here. And so earth is going to go all the way up to there. So I'm basically standing underground right now. This is the wall that's going to come off here, and there's going to be stairs that wrap down. That's how you're going to get down from upstairs. You're going to be able to walk down. But this is the construction work that we're doing to keep this building dry and to make sure that that basement stands dry. So again, dimple mat, waterproofing, the fabric, the loose fill, the gravel, all work to make sure that water, when it hits this thing, or if it ever gets wet and our groundwater comes up, we don't have a leak inside there. Okay guys, the ranch project, a lot of fun. We're here west of Fort Worth. Can't wait to show you over the coming years this project as it transforms. We've got a barn raising going up in a few weeks, but a lot of cool things. Be sure to follow him on Instagram and Facebook, Hull Millwork, Hull Homes. Sign up for the newsletter. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.